A very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on the show this lovely Monday morning. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let's take you through the news making the rounds from this part of the world. Let's start this morning and talk about Nigeria's CAF Confederation Cup representatives. Eyimba, they are back on top after securing their second win in the group phase of the CAF Confederation Cup, courtesy of a 2-1 victory over Tunisia's Eton Setif in Aba. All right. We also talk about the National Sports Festival. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has received the touch of unity, of course, which symbolizes the unity of Nigeria, and of course, everything in tip-top shape as the games continue to go on right there in Edo State. We'll talk about that and a lot more as we move on the show. Let's go to Miami quickly and talk about this one. Miami Open champion, that's what we've called it this morning. Poland's Hubert Hurkacz continued to make himself at home in Florida by defeating Yannick Sinner to win the Miami Open. Of course, he secures his first ATP Masters 1000 title by beating Sinner 7-6, 6-4 to become the champion. All right, so that's where we're going to start the show from this morning, talking tennis, talking about the men's singles events at the Miami Open, where Poland's Hubert Hurkacz was able to get the job done. As a matter of fact, becomes his country's first ATP Masters 1000 winner. Of course, he comes from Poland, and he does that. Very good one for him. Of course, he defeated another promising talent. That's Italy's Yannick Sinner. I'm now joined by Rotimi Akindele, who's well-dressed for the beach soccer event. We'll talk about beach soccer later on, but I just have to point that out because it's looking like he's ready for beach soccer. Rotimi, good morning. Thanks for joining me on the show.
Yeah, good morning, Yemi. It's Easter Monday, so there's still that holiday.
Holiday feel.
Yeah, feel around.
Even though we don't get it, we're always at work.
We don't. I mean, you mentioned beach soccer. We've been there since Saturday, so
wow.
It ends today.
And you're going back.
Of course, once we're out of here. And then it's just there like that, you know. It's just what we do.
All right, it's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on the show. Rotimi, the Olympics are in the air.
Yep.
And we were talking about it. But before we begin to talk about the National Sports Festival and the Olympics, a heartwarming story about a fight back. Amazing story. Sports is full of comebacks, amazing fight back. But this morning, we're looking at the story of Japanese swimmer Rikako Iki fighting back from having leukemia and all of the issues, getting treatment, getting back, and now able to secure her place at the Olympics. Very remarkable story of the amazing feat that humans can achieve when you put your mind to something.
Exactly. It's a feel-good story. I mean, it's a brilliant one. We've actually seen rare cases like this where people who have been condemned or
written off.
Maybe that's a better word. Comes back and then does something cool. Whatever story, even though she goes into the Olympics and not go on to win any medal, she has.
This is the headline.
This is the headline for everyone. Leukemia is not easy, so for overcoming that one and going on to pick an Olympic ticket, I think that's brilliant. Yes, you can. You might want to attribute it to anything, treatment or doctors and all. But it's a good story that she was able to come out of it. She was able to get herself back into competition mode and then securing that spot for the games. I think it's just brilliant, really.
And trust me, the Japanese fans will be behind her. I mean, they'll be rooting.
Everybody should. I mean, apart from the Japanese fan, I think everyone across the world should support
a good story.
Such a story. Whatever happens to her, as I said earlier, at the games proper, I mean, doesn't matter now. It's all about she has a story. That story can go on to inspire millions or even billions across the globe. So I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I know it might take a long journey to get back to where she was before the leukemia and now, but like you said, and I do agree with you. What really matters is that she defied the odds.
Exactly.
And she's back here. Whatever happens after, I mean, this is the headline. All right, from that amazing story, let's quickly move on and talk about half marathons and talk about somebody also wanting to do well at the Olympics. But first, we have to talk about Kenya's Chepngetich, who has smashed the half marathon world record, and she did it in style. And of course, she's looking towards doing well at the Olympics. Rotimi, she did it at Istanbul. Kenyans are known for middle and long distance races. But even now, they're telling us that even the sprints,
Of course.
they want to do it. But no surprises
Yeah.
with what Ruth has done. How they keep producing this world beaters really amazes me, but it's a great one.
It's a great one, and I think it's something they've consciously decided to, develop or probably nurture, to bring out, to churn out some of these talents. Year in, year out, you always see Kenyans in the male category, in the female category, always coming up. The closest country to them
Ethiopia.
is Ethiopia. But then again, you ask yourself, Uganda is also close to Kenya. What's happening? So I think there's that. It's not about, because you are born in Kenya and you have to now to do long distance races. So it's about that conscious effort they put into it. And it's been producing all of the results for them when they go to World Athletics as a team, when it's the individual races or awards as well. They've gotten all of that. So it's pretty good. Good form for her as she prepares to go to the Olympics.
All right, and she's done well in many major events.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to bet against her at the
I hope
Olympics.
she's not coming to Lagos. Because if she comes to Lagos this weekend,
Oh, she
might,
cutting away the money.
or probably just smash another, post another world record. But it's all good, really, for the Kenyans. There's also this story from our end that we want to consciously try and bring in or bring up athletes that could do long distances. So
It's not impossible.
it's not impossible. It's just going to take a while. It's probably going to take like maybe target the next Olympics. That's after this one in Tokyo. So anything can happen, really.
And if we continue to have all of those events, marathons
Of
here and
course,
there,
of course.
At some point.
At some point, we'll get
it right.
Yeah,
I
at some
agree.
point, we'll get it.
All right. Okay, so let's move on. I'll talk about something that concerns Nigeria, something, of course, that will make everybody smile. 5 Nigerian wrestlers have secured their spot at the Olympics. It was just one male wrestler that was able to get through from that qualifying series held in Tunisia. But it was a good one. A total of 5 were able to... all of it. In total, now we have 5 that will go to the Olympics. A good number, and still the prospect of winning medals still there. I mean, when you look at the names of some of our Blessing Oburu Dudu, Aminat Adeni, Odwan Adokuroye, and the lone guy, Ekeremeke Agiomo, the lone male wrestler that makes it onto the list. I'm very happy and excited, and I'm hoping we'll get to see 1 or 2 of them on the podium at the Olympics.
Yeah, if you ask me, what sport can we probably get anything out of from the games? I'm looking towards wrestling. I think there's been this...
That's our brightest prospect.
That's the brightest prospect for us. There's this... maybe the word conscience is ready today from Daniel Igali as the president of the federation. He's always tried to say, you know what, the target is to get an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
Yes, if you get the gold, brilliant. But of course, there are other competitors, so getting a bronze, getting a silver will be huge for such a sport in Nigeria, which, that sort of sport that is not what? Premium yet in Nigeria. So maybe if we start to get medals from international meets and eventually the Olympics, we can elevate it from just an ordinary sport to that premium sport. And I think that's what the Wrestling Federation had been doing. I know for, I think, Amas Daniel, it will be disappointing.
Yeah.
It was one of the biggest names that,
Was close
especially
for
from
some of
the
them.
male category, that you probably would have felt
Should have made it.
should make it to the Olympics. I'm not very sure if there are still any
Other
other routes to qualify for the Olympics. But having 5 in the mix, it's brilliant. And I think I'm backing the ladies here to go all the way, really. Because
the probabilities are 4 to 1. I mean, if you...
even this is me being biased, but if you follow the wrestlers...
The trend,
The trend, it has always been the female wrestlers who brings out the medals.
Even
and
in
all.
athletics, I mean,
Exactly.
it has to be said.
So just say.
All right. So, Rotimi, it's time to come home now and take a look at what is happening. The event that usually heralds the big one. Of course, it has happened in Edo State. The Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, has received the touch of unity ahead of the opening ceremony that's going to be tomorrow. And of course, the touch of unity symbolizes a lot of things. But just to put it in a few words, when you see this, it reaches the governor, you know that, look, everything is all set. Forget about all the drama, forget about every other thing. It is going to happen. Of course, while receiving the touch from Peter Nelson, the secretary of the main organizing committee for the game, the governor, Godwin Obaseki, says that the festival is coming at a difficult time when the country needs to be united more than ever. I mean, that's the essence of the touch of unity, by the way. And of course, very good words there from the governor. Let's quickly take a listen to what the governor said while receiving a touch of unity as all of us wait for the eagerly anticipated opening ceremony of the 20th National Sports Festival.
For 25 years. The National Sports Festival is a festival of unity, a festival that brings the entire country together. And more than ever before in our history, we need to come together at this time. This is why the Edo State government decided, in spite of all the challenges and difficulties from the pandemic, to ensure that we still hold the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival in Benin City, Edo 2020.
All right, that's it. Of course, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but of course, it's our job. We have to say it. Of course, there's a report put together on the National Sports Festival, and one of the things you get from that report is that the local organizing committee have confirmed 7 positive cases of COVID-19. Let's allow you to enjoy this report. We'll come back for more on Sports this morning.
Teams arrive for the 20th National Sports Festival, Edo 2020. The first check-in is the University of Benin, Ugbowo Main Campus in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Many have traveled long distances, but this has done little to dampen their spirits.
We have so much chances, which we believe so much on our athletes, and we so much believe that we are going to win gold medals, and silver, and also bronze.
We have come to pick the gold medal in all facets of the sports. That is our objective, nothing short than that.
A prerequisite for participation in the Unity Games, athletes and officials undergo COVID-19 screening.
Where's your results?
A member of the local organizing committee for the Games, an Edo State incident manager of COVID-19, Dr. Andrew B., confirms 7 positive cases so far.
We have had more negatives in terms of people who are being enrolled into the sports village. We have had few cases of positives, okay? In fact, as of today, we have had 7 positive cases, and I will not go into the states that were affected. But the good news is that as a state response, we are hamped on ensuring that the Games Village is safe for our sports contingents and will make it very difficult for spread of COVID-19.
One of the conditions for teams participating in the festival under the circumstances occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic is 72-hour PCR test for athletes and officials for every team. 2 states, Oyo and Taraba, have defaulted. The chairman of the LOC, Mr. Philip Shaibu, explains that talks are ongoing to resolve the issues.
The issue of Oyo and Taraba, we are on now. I reached out to them in Abuja, the ministry. We are told that the PTF is trying to amend the whole protocol to accommodate Taraba and Oyo. So we are still waiting and to see how it's been amended. As a state too, we owe our people a duty to make sure that all the effort we are putting in place to flatten the curve in Edo State of COVID-19, there won't be any spark after the game.
With over 9,000 athletes and officials expected to take part in the National Sports Festival, the Edo State government says it will not compromise on the safety of residents. COVID-19 protocols will be enforced throughout the Unity Games.
All right, welcome back. Let's bring you into all that we're doing on the show. We've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about the Miami Open. We've talked about the National Sports Festival. We've talked about the Tokyo Olympics, some stories around the Tokyo Olympics. So you want to talk to us this morning. This is how you can do just that. You can tweet at us at channels_sports. Let us know how you feel about all the things happening in the world of sports. We will be talking about beach soccer later on, Nigeria Professional Football League, the English Premier League, and of course, Aba Elephants, Eimba, getting the job done, but the worrying signs are still there, according to some. So we'll talk about all of that. And so just giving you a quick outlook of some of the things we're still going to talk about on the show. So let us know what you feel about all of these things. Tweet at that handle right there on your screen, at channels_sports. Let's continue to keep the conversation going. All right. I say I have Rotimi Akindele with me in the studio. Rotimi, before we get to beach soccer, quickly, your thoughts. Off camera, we were talking about some things. National Sports Festival, when you said it's a bit puzzling to you, the 7 cases.
Yeah, because I think that the TNCs were clear, or let's say the guidelines were clear.
Very clear.
Coming into Edo State.
Take the vaccine.
Take the vaccine.
Take a test, 72 hours.
Exactly. So by the time you come in, you're expected to take another test in some cases and all of that. So if you're saying some of those new tests have now produced 7 cases, then are they
Did
from
they
Edo
follow
State?
those guidelines?
That's the point.
That would be the question.
How well would you ensure that? Or are they even from the state? You know, because the man speaking decided not to mention the states. But overall, I hope it's not as bad as, because by the time we go into contact tracing and all of that, we'll probably have more numbers, you know. But let's hope there's no spark,
we'll
or there's no surge, you know, after the sports festival. But then, just like the governor said as well, the governor, when he received the touch, it's all about uniting the nation.
Yes.
I think that's what's key now, considering all what is happening.
Yes.
This is key for Nigeria, really, and I hope we just make the best out of it.
Yeah, of course. It becomes all the more significant with all the issues around the nation at this point in time. Rotimi, let's move on and talk about an event that you're well dressed for. I don't know if he's going to be one of the players. I really don't know. He hasn't told me that. But let's take a look at the LFF, the Nigeria Beach Soccer. We're taking a look at day 1 and day 2 results. Then we focus on day 3. What's going to happen today? That's today's grand finale. Rotimi, what you have on your screen, let me quickly run through it. The team from Kebbi, of course, beat Badagry United. This is not day 1. Badagry United 4-2. Kwara, the team from the beach soccer team from Kwara, actually lost to Anambra. You have the one from Igbobo beating the one from Edo State 6-3, and Kaduna Beach soccer team also defeated Smart City. Day 2, Badagry United hitting the team from Kwara 7-3. You have Edo, of course, losing to Kaduna. You have Anambra losing to Kebbi on match day 2. Smart City also defeating Igbobo Beach soccer team. That's day 2. Day 3, Rotimi. And, of course, Rotimi will give us some permutations and tell us what is the situation report. Kebbi takes on Kwara. Anambra takes on Badagry United. The team from Edo takes on Smart City. Then you have Igbobo taking on Kaduna. So, Rotimi, what's it been like?
Well, it's been fun. To be honest, when in this time of season, people love to go to the beach. I don't know why. I don't know why Easter is attached to the beach. But then again, having that footballing
mixed to all of it.
Yeah, with all of this music, fun around, side attractions, food. Yeah, that's also part of it. I mean, it's been good. But for the games proper, I like what I've been seeing. Really, don't forget at the national level, we probably don't have a national team for now because of what the NFF had decided to do. But it looks like there's maybe this new interest because the NFF president was there on Friday. On Saturday, rather, when it started. He was there alongside the first vice president as well. And the first vice president again was around yesterday. So you can see that, you can have that, or you just note that support somehow.
How important this is
exactly.
To
so
football's ruling body in Nigeria.
Exactly. So, and then we used to be very big on the continent, save for this break that we have now. So hopefully we'll come back into it. But on the balance of play, the Kebbi guys have about two former Nigerian internationals, Emeka Ogbonna and one other guy. At least I know two of them that used to play with the Super Sand Eagles. I think that experience has been counting for the Kebbi team, alongside the Kaduna team as well. Those two teams are the ones with maximum points already anyway. So it looks like one of them might go on to nick it today, depending on the outcome of their games, of their own games. That's the Kaduna taking on Igbogbo.
All right.
Igbogbo is a Lagos-based team, pretty decent. They had a Lagos derby yesterday, though. Igbogbo and Smart City. Smart City is also from Lagos, and Smart City also going on to win that one. But keep an eye on Kebbi. Keep an eye on Kaduna. Kebbi starts the opener today, according to the schedule. Kaduna plays last. But all in all, I mean, it's a place you want to be, especially since today's a holiday, and you just want to have some fun and watch good soccer.
And besides, that's very important to the development of beach soccer.
It is important because we created a culture. So I think during maybe the last 2-3 Copa Lagos events, or when we hosted the Beach Soccer Nations Cup here in Lagos some years back, you saw teams, I mean, club sides springing up.
Yeah.
So those clubs that have to get active, get involved and all, and that's what we're seeing. So we've seen about, I didn't believe we had up to eight teams.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so
that's good.
It's pretty good.
It's good progress.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on the show this morning and talk about the Aba Elephants. Of course, when we say the Aba Elephants, you already know we're talking about two-time African champions, Eyimba. So let's just see clips from that game. Okay, results first. And it's good to say that Eyimba are back on top. And they defeated a Tonse team. The questions, some worrying signals. We'll talk about that. Ali Benghazi and Orlando Pirates. This, to me, was another good result. It's goalless. So Eyimba reclaimed top spot in Group A for the group phase. But Rotimi, as we begin to see the clips, your thoughts? I'm thinking the worrying signs, conceding goals, needlessly conceding goals. I think it's still a worrying sign.
Yeah, it's still the worrying signs. I don't think Eyimba would probably worry more now. When they get to the knockout stages, that's where they should worry more. Because if you keep conceding at home, that means you probably have to score more goals when you go away from home or something, you know. So it's for now, what matters is 3 points.
Yeah.
They've gotten the 3 points. And I think like we predicted when the draws were made earlier or some weeks ago, win all your home games, try to get a point away from home, and you're home and dry.
And they fluffed that opportunity with the Orlando Pirates.
Because
you would have said they are on course.
Exactly.
But now they are winning the home games. What happens away?
Well, it looks like Setif, who everyone had thought were going to be the biggest.
Don't look as dancing as we thought they were going to be.
Exactly. So who knows? Anything can happen. The Libyan league just started some weeks ago.
Look at this goal.
Wow.
You shouldn't be conceding this kind of goals. You
shouldn't, but these things do happen. Lots of complaints about the referee as well. I think it's poor by CAF standard.
Okay.
So, well, we'll wait to see how that pans out, really. If CAF is going to say anything about officiating. But then Eyimba maybe should have gone on to win this one by as much as 4 or 5 goals.
Yes.
But, I mean, as I said, it's not about the goals at this stage. All that matters. Yeah, all that matters rather is the points.
Yeah.
And they got the 3 points. So they have 6 points. With the remaining 3 games, win your last home game. Try to get a point away from them.
From those 2 matches.
Ali Benghazi has been playing. I think if Eyimba
gets their half-time, this thing we always say about group phase competitions, if there's no whipping boy in the group, 10 points, you're safe. But if it turns out,
But there are no whipping
for
boys.
after match day 3, we are yet to see any whipping.
Yeah.
But you never can tell what's going to happen.
No, there are no whipping boys. As far as I'm concerned, Setif can still qualify. Even though they are the
Yes.
team in bottom, they can still qualify.
Yeah.
Because they've got, apart from having the name, they've got the experience as well. So if they can score in your home, who says they can beat you in their own backyard? So it's still very open. And just the advice to Himba, win your last home game. Try and pick a point in Libya or go to Setif and pick a point.
You know, as we move on to the league, I've listened to a lot of people,
Yep.
including you, even though everybody has said something that sounds different, but the tiny thread that runs through what everybody has said, Enyimba should score more from the chances they create and stop conceding goals. That's what I hear, even though everybody sounds different. Those two things.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you've been watching them for weeks, or since the league started, that has been their bane.
Yeah.
Struggling to convert all the chances.
They create.
But then they do create the chances. I mean, Iwala is one player you probably love to watch. And then I'm sure you saw from the clip how he provided an assist for that second goal in this game and all. But yes, they've got such players that could create the opening. What happens to the finishers? Omoyele has also stepped up, sometimes in the league, sometimes on the continent. But there's got to be that sort of consistency by Enyimba. As far as I'm concerned, they are probably our biggest product when it comes to the NPFL and representing Nigerian teams on the continent. So they should live up to that billing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure anybody would, it's not like we would flog them, but nobody would forgive Enyimba if they crash out in the group stage.
Yeah, nobody will.
Nobody. Yeah, so they should get to that knockout stage and then start
Anything can happen
showing
from there.
signs of why we should win the CAF Confederations Cup.
All right. If there's any team that could be the first to win it, you could always
Exactly.
put your money
Exactly.
on Enyimba. So we'll see what happens. Let's move on quickly. Rotimi, let's talk about Nigeria Professional Football League. Let's take a look at the results from the Nigeria Professional Football League and also take a look at what's going to happen today. We're at the halfway point already. So let's take a look at the results. We'll start with... you saw the clips earlier. MFM and FC Ifeanyi Uba ended 1-1. Sunshine Stars and Aqua United. It's going to be our official game. We'll talk some more about this. It ended goalless. Lobi Stars defeated Jigawa Golden Stars 2-1. Dakada defeated Rivers United. Seem not to understand what's happening with Rivers United these days. Kwara United also defeated Nasarawa United 2-0. Wiki Tourist played a goalless draw with Kasuna United. Then Kano Pillars slim 1-0 victory over Warri Wolves. Rotimi, I want us to just quickly talk about Sunshine and Aqua United. Ended goalless. These are two teams that who have managers that are well loved by, people who watch football on the domestic scene, teams that put the ball on the ground. And if you were a betting person, you would say this game will surely produce goals. It didn't.
It didn't. I mean, that's how unpredictable football can be.
Yes.
You know, like I've always said. I mean, I had this from one of the legends we have in this line. He says football is just like biscuits.
Yes.
You never can tell where it will crack.
Sure.
So I think that's the best definition of football for me. We've seen top games even across the globe ended goalless. So I think they were just cautious. Sunshine Stars have been struggling. Aqua United are in the top 4, top 5 mix, trying to see if they can get on the continent or even go on to win the championship itself. But for Sunshine Stars, apart from their off-field issues, which I think is what is affecting them the most.
Yeah.
And that's why they even got banned from Akure and now playing in Lagos. I feel the off-field troubles they have is really rubbing off, on their performances. And it's pretty. I think 1 point they would be okay with 1 point, but it's a game they could have lost as well.
Should have won.
Yeah.
All right.
They could even go on to lose it. But then MFM disappointing. For Lagos.
You know what? We'll get to MFM. We'll also talk about MFM. But let's take some reaction from this game. I'll talk about both managers, Boboye and Ogunbote, as managers that well-loved, well-respected by many people when it comes to football on the domestic scene. Let's listen to what both managers had to say.
It's not. That was not our plan. But we don't have anything to do than to go back and get prepared for the next game because we'll be coming in a few weeks to come and play us in New York. We came here for a win, but we didn't get it. We didn't push hard in the attack to have gotten our goals. That was just our problem. It's a pass mark. The boys have done well. They did their best, but it didn't come the way we expected. So we'll go back and plan for our next home game. It's just hard work. There's no secret. It's hard work, and we think we don't have a home. Anywhere we find ourselves, we play like as if we are playing our home.
All right, so we'll get to listen to Ogunbote later on. But Rotimi, you were eager to talk about MFM and FC Ifeanyi. You felt it was a winnable game for MFM.
Yeah, and I think Lagos fans will be very disappointed. MFM defeating Enyimba and then going on to Jigawa Golden Stars to lose. I think that didn't show the stuff of a side that looks pretty serious to survive the drop. And now you had another chance against that FC Ifeanyi side who has been struggling all season. And then you drop points. So it puts everybody in that sort of...
It's puzzling.
And it's just midway into the season.
Right.
So it's game week 19 for some teams and all of that. Kwara United still doing well.
Yeah,
and I'm
surprising.
still supporting them somewhere.
Okay. All right. So for the sake of balance, we'll allow you listen to Gbenga Ogunbote, the coach of Sunshine Stars. Then we'll also allow you to listen to the two managers involved in our discussion in the studio, talking about Laleko Gabriel of MFM and his counterpart from FC Ifeanyi.
We lost more glaring chances than this in our career. But you see, sometimes the truth of the matter is when a team find it difficult to win a game, the confidence level will drop. You understand? We just need one game to trigger us up. Because, the issue is that their protest is already receiving attention. So all we just need to do is that we just have to join our resources together to ensure that we get ourselves out of the mess.
I'm very, very disappointed in the result. I'm very disappointed with the caliber of my boys. I don't understand. Most of them play out of at least instruction today. You can see my central out of gamble the game, and it gave a miss ball to the Ifeanyi Bade. And he's supposed to know that I believe my primary duty, which he's supposed to do, but that gives them the equalizer. And I don't see anything Ifeanyi Bade. There's no much pressure on the game. But sometimes in football it happens like that. It's not an error. It's because it's fat out. So people cannot understand. It's fat out. He cannot even play. The guy have to beg him to start from second half. So he couldn't play 90 minutes because he has been playing, and no other players giving him challenge. And people are complaining they want to play. That's why he's saying, I say, okay, guy, sit on the bench. You come in so that you can be able to regain your strength back. That's why you see him on the bench. It happened in the game. I'm not in the field of play. After the instruction given to them, they might in the field of play, giving another attitude, and that is football for you.
You see, we have been playing very well. Anybody that has been following our matches, we see that we've been playing very well. But the result has not been forthcoming. But we pray whether this will be the beginning of good things to happen to the team. Do you remember that the best way to defend is to attack? And once you attack, you defend. Not that the boys were slowing down, but the thing was that, my boys are not used to all these synthetic pitches. No, I'm not under pressure. I'm not ever under pressure because one thing in life is that once you are a coach, you are doing your job perfectly okay. You don't get to be worried about any side top. Because one thing about football, coaching is all about hiring and firing. So once you are doing the right thing, you don't get to be bothered about anything.
All right, a good one listening to all of those managers speaking about the games they played over the weekend. We need to go on a break right about now. And when we return from that break, we take a look at the English Premier League and also a look at the papers. And of course, we're on the home stretch now. Let's just quickly show to you the games that we played today in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Some matches will be played today, Easter Monday. That's it. Of course, Rotimi, let's take a look at it. Heartland, Adamawa United, Abia Warriors, Plateau United, Rangers, and AIM, of course, postponed. You know the reason why. So, in a few seconds, what do you expect?
I mean, standout for me, Abia Warriors, Plateau United.
Okay.
Mike Kaba up against Imama Makwakabo.
That's going to be very interesting.
Very, very interesting. I'm not sure we're going to see an 8-goal thriller like we saw last week between Abia and Nasarawa. But then again, this should produce goals, should be exciting. And the good thing as well is that it's going to be on TV. So looking forward to seeing that one.
All right, so that's going to be very interesting. Let's step down and go to the Nigeria National League and see what's going to happen. We're going to see some of the things that went down. Let's take a look at results and fixtures in some cases. We start with Division A1. Green Berets and Nav Rockets 1-1. Mighty Jets defeated EFCC. No arrests in that game. Mighty Jets won 2-0. FC Taraba played a 1-1 draw with El Kademi Warriors. All of these matches in Division A1. We'll go to Division A2. Kebbi United trashed Shekara Babes 4-1. Yobe Desert Stars had a slim 1-0 victory over Malum Fashi. Sanfra United defeated DMD 1-0. Kogi United played a 1-1 draw with Road Safety. ABS, Abubakar Bukola Saraki Babes defeated Niger Tornadoes 2-1. In Division B1, Oshi United will play against Giant Broilers. The game will take place later. Go Round will be up against Go Round defeated Calabar Rovers by a lone goal. Shooting Stars. It's hard to bet against Shooting Stars these days. They defeated Van Reza 2-0. Dynamite Force also beats Newi United 4-3. Delta Force had a slim 1-0 victory over Nilayo FC. Then we'll go to Division B2. Of course, after this, I'm going to get Rotimi's thoughts. Ibom Youth defeated Apex Crane 1-0. FC1 Rocket, I like that name, defeated Julius Atete 3-1. Godowski, of course, beat Crown FC of Ogumosho 2-1. Then Bayelsa United secured a slim 1-0 victory over Joy Comet. Rotimi, a lot of matches, but I know you have some thoughts. Maybe on shooting?
Of course. I mean, everybody's talking about shooting in the NNL. They've only lost one game, out of probably 9-10 games already. I mean, good one for Shooting Stars. But then it's not Uhuru yet.
Yes.
They still have that playoffs to navigate.
Yeah.
But looks like, I mean, the 1 and 2 teams going into this last round of fixtures, Shooting Stars and Van Reza were up against each other.
Yeah.
So, of course, Ijebode, the home side should win it, and that was what Shooting did. So we'll wait to see how Van Reza bounces back in this one, especially in that Group B1.
Yeah.
I'm not sure anyone can actually topple their form, talking about Shooting and Van Reza in that group. And so we'll just wait to see how it pans out. But as I said, everybody doing well now. Yes, do well to finish first or second in your group, but then you should have that playoffs.
Yeah, that hurdle.
That hurdle to cross, and fingers crossed, really.
All right, let's go to the English Premier League quickly and take a look at what went down over the weekend. Let's take a look at the results. Of course, I'm going to allow Rotimi to say one or two things. Chelsea and West Bromwich Albion. I mean, this happened, just in case you were wondering what we're doing. 5-2 on Saturday. Came as a surprise to a lot of people, but it did happen. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Sam Allardyce and his boys, but it happened.
It happened with 8 games left. I don't think it will be enough because that means what it means is if they can go on to win the remaining 8 games like this.
But Leicester did it with Nigel Pearson.
That was Leicester.
7 games.
That was Leicester.
And they did it, and before they qualified.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And Sam Allardyce credited with the fact that he has always survived. He has never relegated. I don't know if this is going to be the first time, but we'll see.
We'll see, really. But I think it's tough, especially with the way the Premier League season had been so far. I think it's tough, really. But it was a good one for West Brom. First win since the 70s at Stamford Bridge. That's pretty good.
All right, Leeds and Sheffield United 2-1 in favour of Leeds. Leicester handed a 2-0 loss by Manchester City. A lot of people say champions are waiting. Arsenal, another shambolic performance at the Emirates. Lost 3-0 to Liverpool. A lot of people say Liverpool, they're back. I don't know if that's true. Let's take a look at some other results in the English Premier League. Southampton and Burnley, 3-2 in favor of Southampton. Newcastle, just when Jose Mourinho and his boys thought they were back in the top four, Willock had some things to say. 2-2 he ended. Tottenham now in fifth. Aston Villa leapfrogged Arsenal with this one. They defeated Fulham, making the job more difficult for Scott Parker and his boys. Then Manchester United dug deep to defeat Brighton.
Yeah, good one for United. I saw that game. Oh well, looks like it's done enough. They've done enough to cement that second spot, behind Manchester.
With 8 games to play.
Yeah, looks like they will. If they keep this form.
If you say UEFA Champions League spot, I might agree, but second place, with 8 games to play.
Okay. Yeah, second spot. Because you look at the teams behind them.
Yeah.
And it's just
4-3, yeah.
Exactly. So they look like of the top 4, top 5, aside City, there seems to be the more consistent team as well. So
and today, Everton, Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and West Ham. Of course, we'll be back later in the day to give you the results of these matches on the news. All right, our final shot on the show is going to be the papers. That's going to be our parting shot as we prepare to wrap things up. Let's start the review with Complete Sports, the Monday edition of Complete Sports. Let's see what we have there. A lot of interesting stories. Iwobi 6 to end 3-month gold drought. You have Simi closing in on Martin's Syria record equals George Weah's feat. All right. Another quick one on that from you, Rotimi. Which one of the stories gets you talking?
Oh, well, I love the Simi story. It's been consistent now, 15 goals this season. I think he got his 20th brace, put together.
Him and Onuachu are the most talked about players now.
Exactly.
A lot of people calling for...
I think if you look at, if he continues in this form till the end of the season, it will be difficult
to keep him out.
For us to keep him out. So that's it for Simi Nwankwo. It's pretty good. All
right. Let's go to Sporting Sun. You have fantastic, this is a coach, fantastic Iheanacho at his best every day. It's going to be interesting. Make an interesting read. Neymar agrees PSG contract until 2026. That story is on the back page of the Sporting Sun. Joshua officially starts training camp for Fury fight. That story also on the back page. Rotimi, quick one. Which of those stories get you talking?
Oh, well, looking forward to the Joshua Fury fight. Hopefully we get a date confirmed and a venue pretty soon. But then again, I'm seeing a story from La Liga where it's pretty interesting. Barcelona somehow after their season have a chance of just going 1 point behind Atletico Madrid if they go on to beat Valladolid today.
Yeah. And with some consistency, they might win La Liga.
And how would you now describe that story?
It's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. But of course, Atletico will come in for some flack because we thought it was their titles to lose.
Yeah.
All right, last paper for review this morning, Sporting Live, the Monday edition. This story, Arteta may sell Bukayo Saka. That story is one of the lead stories. Leicester losing to Manchester City. Brendan Rodgers said Ndidi and Iheanacho, he said both players tried. Neymar pivotal to Madrid's pursuit of Mbappe. Rotimi, that's going to be your parting shot. Which one gets you talking of all the stories in today's Sporting Life?
Okay, so a quick one. Roger saying in the Iheanacho, tired.
Tired, right.
Yeah, tired. Well, probably all the coaches are saying the same thing, especially in Italy, in Spain, and some of the top teams in England as well. So these things do happen, especially after the international break. And just like you said, the Saka.
I'm trying to understand where that's coming from.
I don't think Arsenal want
brightest prospect in the team.
Arsenal, but then if they hope to make some money, who knows?
He hasn't gotten to that stage where you can cash in on it.
Oh well, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Okay, all right. That's a good place to leave it today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've brought to you. First, I want to thank Rotimi Akindele for taking our time to be with me on the Easter Monday. Rotimi, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Hopefully we get to do this some other time.
No problem.
All right. Thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of it. I hope you've enjoyed your holidays. Enjoy the rest of today. We'll be back here again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.